Hey guys, welcome to Power Toys. Today I want to go over a few ways you can make the automotive hobby pay for itself. It's one of the most expensive things you can get into, and especially when you're younger, it's hard to keep putting money into it and keep having fun because that's what it's all about, right? Spending more money, more money. Everything is more money. And this hobby is probably the worst offender of that. So here's a few ways that I came up with throughout my time messing with cars and motorcycles and stuff to make some of that back to keep going. Scavenge parts you don't like on a vehicle that someone else might to sell or trade. Say someone has a big old high-rise hood, a power scoop on a Mustang or something like that, and you don't like that. Well, take that and sell it. Keep that money in some kind of collection to spend on stuff you do like. Trade with other people that are into cars, or even if they're not, car parts off of your car, or just things you have laying around. Trading, in my opinion, is the way we should do things. Instead of using paper money, you get to trade stuff. It's even better, right? You got some ugly wheels on your car you don't like, trade them for some honeycombs, you know? Trade for trade. Someone's trash is another man's treasure. Modify existing cheap parts that are disposable pretty much, that don't have much monetary value, to make something better, whether that's performance or otherwise. Possibly your distributor. You know, you can go in there. There's plenty of people on YouTube that do videos on how you can get your weights in the distributor set so you can have better performance out of a stock distributor. It's a stock. You know, there's nothing that you can do to make it worse unless it stops working, and then you're going to make the investment you were already planning on making. Keep in mind, these aren't for daily drivers as much as they are for your fun cars. Next one. Trade work with people. So, say you have a friend that paints cars. Maybe they do wraps. Maybe they do custom ground effects. If anyone still does that, maybe they need something done that you do know how to do, and you could trade work for work so you don't have to spend so much money. You can give them a little time instead. Use your automotive knowledge to either flip cars, or if you're limited on space, like I am, to flip motorcycles or off-road vehicles. There is a lot of profit that can be made off of flipping cars, but they do take up a very large amount of space, and it's a big investment to begin with. Who has, you know, $2,500 laying around to invest in a flip car? When people are tight on money, that's hard to do. What you should be able to do, though, is pick up, I don't know, a moped or a dirt bike or a quad for around $500 to $200 and get it in a reasonable mechanical shape and flip that for around $1,500 to $2,000, sometimes even $3,000. If you have a really good first, baseline deal that you got it for. With those, I've done a lot of it. You want to make sure that it's at least in close to running condition. Any cosmetic stuff is super easy to take care of on off-road vehicles. You just replace plastics. Buy parts cars that you may not need necessarily. If there is a car that is somewhat collectible, take a moment to look at it and see what parts are still on it. You might think that there's not a lot left, but there is. Most of the time, there's all kinds of things that can be used. On parts cars, little pieces of trim like this can bring you $200 if it's in very nice shape. A piece of metal just going from the roof down to the body of the cowl of the car could bring you $20. If you put a whole car together and you can sell little sections that are very desirable, especially Mopar stuff, because Dodge likes to rust out. You could have an initial investment of $1,000 into a car and sell almost the entire car in parts. You might have to hack it up a lot, but you might be able to get $20,000 out of a car that you spent almost nothing on by putting in the work and trying to find the right buyer. Talk to people at shows is going to be my last one. It might sound a little silly and common sense, but talking to other people that are in the hobby can greatly improve your ability to network and get really good deals on things you otherwise would never have gotten a chance to get at. Talking to older people especially that have a massive collection of car parts that they're no longer going to use because they've already put new stuff on. They're like most people. They don't like to throw out the old stuff. They want to see it go to someone that's actually going to use it, or they're going to do something else with it down the road themselves, which usually isn't the case. So some of those people won't give you a good deal, but some will, and that's probably the most important thing, is to network and talk to other people in the hobby, because I've already done a bunch of that, and it definitely helps, and you get into really cool groups of people that help you along the way, teach you different things, because although the internet is great, having first-hand knowledge next to you working on something is even better. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go over a couple things about that to help all the younger people, maybe even some old people, keep working on the cars. Use these tips to keep the wallet a little heavier. Catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.